We're doing reflection. It's going to be a really short video. I'm going to show you the L.6. A couple things you have to know. The rules, it'll make it a little bit easier for you. When you reflect over, I should put reflect, the y-axis, when you reflect over the x-axis, you change the sign of the x only. When you reflect over x-axis, you change the sign of y only. Okay? So it's the opposite. So I'm going to do some examples on L.6 with you. That way you can see what you're supposed to do on L.6. If you're watching this live in class, I'll put this back up here, but because technology isn't always the greatest for me, I just have to start right now because it may not film it and record it in. Alright, so geometry L.6. I'll do a couple of examples. That way you can see what it's supposed to be like. So on this one, you have to write the coordinates. So right here, they want x-axis, right? So we just said when it reflects over the x-axis, you change the sign of y. Sign means positive, negative. So here, if right here the x is -5, it changes to, change of x, then the y changes. It's the opposite. So the x is the same. Okay, the x is the same. The first letter is the x. Now the sign of the y changes. So here it's negative, it becomes positive. Here it's -1, it becomes +1. -1 becomes +1. -10 becomes +10. I change the sign of y. Now, the sign of the changing of the y-axis, it's the opposite. When you reflect over the y-axis, the sign of x changes. So here, the x is negative, so it becomes positive. I guess if I can click on it. And then here, it doesn't change. Here, it's positive, stays the same. It's -3, changes to +3, stays the same. Changes to +3. Now, let's see if it gives me a harder one. Okay, that's the same one, x-axis. Now, for this one, you're going to have to draw it like you've done before. Do you know what I mean? Where you have to say, okay, here's y equals -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it because otherwise I will not remember. If I was doing it on my own laptop, I would just mark it on my laptop. But you can't see it if I do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense what I'm doing? And then, did it change it? 1, 2. Okay, now here, this one is how many away? 1, 2. 1, 2. There's W. What's the x of the W? -3. -3. What's the y value? -6, -7. Okay, and then let's do V. V would be right here. So the x would be -3. And the other one would be -8. The t is how many away? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Is that 3? Yeah. That is -3, -4, -5, -6. That's t, -6. And then the y value would be, that wouldn't be there. Is that right? Oh yeah, that is right. Ugh. The y value is -8. Now u is how many away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's at -10. Sorry, -6, -10. -6, -10. And that's what you're doing on the IXL.